Why does your mind keep trying to solve problems that are not happening? You replay conversations. You predict rejection. You imagine every possible outcome. You search for certainty, but the more you think, the less certain you feel. That is overthinking. It feels like preparation, but most of the time it is fear circling the same room. In this video, you will learn 4 Stoic habits that can help you stop feeding that loop, return to what is real, and act with a clearer mind. Comment clear if overthinking has been stealing too much of your peace. Habit 1. Separate facts from imagination. This is where overthinking usually begins. Something small happens. A message takes longer than usual. A person sounds distant. A mistake appears at work. A plan changes. Then the mind adds a story. They are upset with me. I ruined everything. Something bad is coming. They have lost respect for me. I should have said something different. The event may be small. The story becomes enormous. Epictetus taught that people are disturbed not only by events, but by the judgments they attach to them. That does not mean pain is fake. It means your first interpretation may not be the truth. A delayed reply is a fact. They do not care about me is a judgment. A mistake is a fact. My future is ruined is a judgment. Someone disagreed with you. That is a fact. Everyone thinks I am foolish is a judgment. Overthinking grows when facts and imagination are mixed together. So use a simple Stoic question. What do I actually know? Not what do I fear? Not what do I suspect? Not what could happen? What do I know? Write it down in one sentence. The meeting was moved. The message has not been answered. I made one mistake. They said no. That is the fact. Then write the story your mind added. They no longer respect me. I will lose the opportunity. This always happens to me. I will be alone. Once you see the 2 lines separately, the spell weakens. The goal is not to force a positive story. Do not replace everything will go wrong with everything will be perfect. Both are guesses. Stay with what is true. The Stoic mind is not blindly optimistic. It is accurate. And accuracy is calmer than imagination. The next time your thoughts begin racing, say, "This is what happened. This is what I am adding." That small pause can save hours of mental noise. Comment facts if you need to stop treating every fear like evidence. Habit 2. Stop rehearsing conversations that are not happening. You know this habit. You lie in bed and argue with someone in your mind. You imagine what they might say. You prepare your response. You improve it. You imagine them misunderstanding you. Then you defend yourself again. The conversation happens 10 times, but never in reality. This feels useful because the mind is active. But activity is not always progress. Sometimes you are not preparing. You are practicing anxiety. You are teaching your body to react to a scene that does not exist. Your heart speeds up. Your jaw tightens. Your sleep disappears. The other person is not even there, yet they are controlling your nervous system. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly brought his attention back to the present duty, not because the past and future did not matter, because the present is where action is possible. An imaginary conversation has no natural ending. You can always think of one more reply, one more danger, one more explanation, one more way the other person might respond. So give the mind a boundary. Ask, is there a real conversation I need to have? If yes, prepare 3 things. What happened? What you need to say? What outcome is in your control? Then stop rehearsing. You do not control whether they understand. You do not control whether they agree. You do not control whether they become defensive. You control whether you speak clearly, calmly, and honestly. If there is no real conversation to have, return to the present task. Wash the cup. Finish the email. Take the walk. Read the page. Do something visible. The mind needs a place to land. Telling yourself stop thinking is usually not enough. Give attention a job. This is one reason practical action is so powerful. Action closes doors that imagination keeps reopening. The next habit is where many overthinkers lose whole days without noticing. Habit 3. Limit every problem to what you can act on now. Overthinking loves problems with no clear edge. What if this happens next month? What if I make the wrong choice? What if they leave? What if I fail? What if people judge me? The mind jumps so far ahead that no action feels possible. Then it keeps thinking, because thinking is the only thing left. The Stoic answer is the circle of control. Some things are yours. Your effort, your words, your preparation, your standards, your next action. Some things are not yours. Other people's reactions, the final outcome, the past, chance, timing, reputation. When you mix these together, anxiety grows. When you separate them, the next step becomes clearer. Suppose you are worried about a job interview. You do not control whether they choose you. You do control whether you prepare, whether you sleep, whether you arrive on time, whether you answer honestly, whether you send the application. That is enough for today. Suppose you are worried about someone pulling away. You do not control their feelings. You do control whether you communicate once, observe their pattern, and protect your dignity. That is enough for today. Suppose you are worried about a mistake. You cannot remove what happened. You can correct what is still repairable, learn the lesson, and change the next decision. That is enough for today. Overthinking asks for total certainty. Life rarely gives it. Stoicism asks for the next right action. That is usually available. Use this question. What can I do in the next 10 minutes? Not next year. Not after everything becomes clear. The next 10 minutes. Make the call. Write the list. Send the email. Remove the distraction. Ask the question. Take one step. When action exists, take it. When no action exists, release the problem for now. Not forever. For now. You can schedule time to review it later. But do not let an unsolvable problem occupy every room in your mind. Comment action. If you are ready to stop thinking past the point where action is possible. Habit 4. Return your attention to the present task. This sounds simple. It is also the habit that holds the others together. Overthinking pulls attention away from reality. Your body is in one place. Your mind is in 5 others. You are eating, but thinking about tomorrow. You are working, but replaying yesterday. You are with someone, but checking how they might feel about you. You are trying to rest, but mentally solving a future that has not arrived. The Stoic practice is return, not perfect focus. Return. Marcus Aurelius did not write because his mind never wandered. He wrote because it did. He kept reminding himself to come back. To the present. To duty. To character. To the next useful action. That is the habit. When the mind leaves, bring it back without drama. You do not need to insult yourself. You do not need to say, "Why am I like this?" That question often creates another loop. Just notice. My mind left. Now I return. Return to the breath. Return to the page. Return to the person in front of you. Return to the task in your hands. Return to the one thing you decided matters now. A useful practice is to name the task out loud. Right now I am writing. Right now I am driving. Right now I am listening. Right now I am resting. Right now I am walking. This narrows the mind. Overthinking wants 10 open doors. Presence closes 9. You can also use time blocks. For the next 20 minutes, this is the only task. When the time ends, you may review. Until then, return. The goal is not to never think about the future. Planning matters. Reflection matters. The goal is to stop letting thought replace life. There is a point where more thinking no longer gives more clarity. It only creates more noise. Learn to recognize that point. Ask, am I discovering something new or repeating the same fear? If the answer is repeating, return. That one habit can change the texture of your whole day. Now let us bring the 4 habits together. Separate facts from imagination. Stop rehearsing conversations that are not happening. Limit every problem to what you can act on now. Return your attention to the present task. These habits are simple, but simple does not mean easy. Overthinking has probably become automatic. Your mind may begin the loop before you notice. That is fine. The first victory is noticing sooner, then interrupting sooner, then returning sooner. You do not need to win every thought. You need to stop feeding every thought. For the next 24 hours, choose one habit. Only one. Maybe you write the fact and the story on separate lines. Maybe you stop one imaginary conversation. Maybe you ask what can be done in the next 10 minutes. Maybe you name the present task and return to it. One habit, one day, one clear experiment. Comment the number you are choosing. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Make it simple. Then practice it the next time the loop begins. Remember this: your mind is a tool. It is meant to help you judge, choose, plan, and act. It was not meant to imprison you in endless rehearsal. You do not need certainty before you move. You need enough clarity for the next right step. You do not need every answer tonight. You need to stop treating every unanswered question like an emergency. And you do not need to believe every thought just because it arrived in your own voice. If this video helped you, subscribe to Stoic Echoes for more practical Stoic lessons on discipline, peace, emotional control, and inner strength. But before you leave, choose your number. Then when overthinking returns, do not argue with it for an hour. Use the habit. Return to reality. That is where your life is waiting.